Welcome to Two Dudes, One Movie Podcast, the podcast where two dudes dive into cinematic masterpieces from a different decade each week. Right now, we're in between seasons, so instead of our regular scheduled programming, we're here with something new. It's time for some debates, and our debate today is going to be yet another good one. We're talking about, has Disney ruined Star Wars? So for those of you who have not been tuning in to our debate shows, this is how it's going to work. Both sides will get a chance to share their thoughts and opinions, and then we will have a short rebuttal session. Then it's up to you. You decide who won the debate. So make sure to share, like, and comment who you felt like won today's debate. It's the only way for us to feel any emotional satisfaction after this. Rick, what do you want to do? Do you want to go? You want to debate first? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
For some reason, your Zoom just froze on me, so I'm just jumping into this now.
Oh, am I frozen still?
No, you're not frozen anymore.
Oh, that's great.
But I'll go first. I'll be a lamb to the slaughter. Feel like my if I knew more about Star Wars, I think I could gear myself up, but I lost interest, as I feel like a lot of people have with it, because it sucks.
So
here we are, Park.
Because it's dead, right, Rick?
Because it is dead.
All right, let's see.
Okay, Park. I talked about it a little bit in our pre-game, if you will, where, we just did shots and talked about Star Wars. Well, we do every episode. I feel like that's all we do, right?
Yeah.
Whether Star Wars is the topic or not. That's what the pre-game is.
Big pre-game.
So Disney Star Wars has 12-ish properties. The ish, I guess, is when they picked up the last few seasons of Clone Wars. There's a lot that I haven't watched. I've watched their 3 attempts at trilogies that were not good, and I guess we'll dive into that a little bit, but this is not a YouTube channel to where everyone's gonna pick out little Easter eggs. If you want to do that, I don't even know, I can't even think of YouTubers. I don't know, go watch a cosplayer on YouTube that dives into Easter eggs. Anyways, we got 12 movies, 12 properties. 2 of these properties I would say are hits, Park. Maybe one's a home run. I never watched Andor, but people that watched Andor tell me it's good. Theoretically, I guess in the end, the people that tell me Andor is good are people that I know are already obsessed with Star Wars, and Star Wars can do no wrong. So I don't actually know if Andor is good. One day I'll give it a try. Andor's good. Ahsoka, did that even come out? Did that come out?
It's out. It's currently airing right now, Rick.
Okay, let's just say that's good. That's 2. We got 2 hits. Star Wars, to me, it's like a guy that's been in the MLB for 45 years, Park. And he started out great. This is an insane talent. But now he's batting 2 for 12, basically, which is not good. It's already dead. His career is already dead. He can hit a home run every once in a while. That doesn't mean it's not dead. It's already dead, Park. And they killed it real fast. They killed it with the trilogy, Park. And let me tell you why. Disney just cares about money grabs. They make movies to sell product. That's it. They don't make it because they actually care about George Lucas's little story. They don't make it for anyone. They make it so they can shill product to people that are going to buy it. And people that love Star Wars are always going to buy all of these products. Every single movie, there's they always make a cute little creature for the sole purpose of selling product. There's no other purpose. That's all Disney cares about, Park. That's why Disney is as lifeless as it is with every single property they've come out with recently. Specifically with that trilogy, they went through 1 million directors because no one knew what to do. And then they ended up rushing development and copied and pasted it from a different Star Wars, hoping that no one would notice. We can even go to the characters themselves. They pretty much casted Finn for diversity and nothing else because his character is not that great, and his character should have been so much better because it was there. The actor is there. The actor is really there. I think he's an incredible actor. But Disney did nothing for him. He was just, I don't know, he was on the sidelines for the final 2 movies. I have Disney Star Wars, just one big marketing campaign and money machine. What is that? That's Disney in general, right? You can tell I really, really love Disney here in general, not just Star Wars. I love Disney, Park.
They're your favorite company.
I mean, they own everything. I guess in the end, that's where I'll make that point. It's a movie built to sell product. It's a movie built to make money, and it's a money machine. That's why we have all these superhero movies, and that's why and I think that's why we have superhero fatigue and Star Wars fatigue. I don't necessarily believe it's because of saturation. I think the Disney run of Star Wars is as mismanaged as the DC universe. It's like there's characters there and there's stories there, and like we always want to hear good stories and we always want to see good characters, but it's incredibly mismanaged.
Interesting.
I'll leave it there.
Interesting.
There you go, Park.
Well, I appreciate your candor, Rick, but I'm gonna have to oppose you on this one and explain to you why Disney hasn't ruined Star Wars and why Star Wars is not dead. All right? So, I can unequivocally say that Disney has not ruined Star Wars. And Rick, not only have they not ruined it, but they have created some of the best Star Wars content in the entire franchise since its acquisition. All right? So, even pre-acquisition, they've created some of the best content. Now, to buy into this argument, you have to look at the entirety of the Star Wars content, not just the movies that Disney has created. Because I will say that minus Rogue One, and here's a really hot take here, Rick, The Last Jedi, the modern-day Star Wars movie scene has been rather lackluster at best and horrendous at worst. But Rick, there is so much more than just these movies, because Disney has created a multitude of live-action series and animated series that many would bar to argue are some of the very best Star Wars. It's just whether people are going to spend the time to find them and to watch them or not. First off, let's talk about Clone Wars. Clone Wars was conceptualized before Disney acquired them, but Disney did end the series. They gave it a final season send-off to conclude it. The conclusion of that series was peak Star Wars because it was the culmination of Ahsoka's character arc and growth throughout the entire series of Clone Wars. Not to mention, Rick, the choreography of the final climactic lightsaber duel between Ahsoka and Darth Maul of the series is some of the best lightsaber action in the series, and it's a technological achievement because of its motion capture technology. They literally brought Ray Park, who plays Darth Maul in Episode 1, back to do that lightsaber battle. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat if you ask me. But Rick, let's move beyond the animated stuff. Sure, you got Clone Wars. There's Rebels, which there's a strong, devoted fan base towards Rebels, Rick. But let's move beyond the cartoons and let's get real here. Let's get real and dirty. I'm just gonna say it. A lot of the new content that Disney had released has made previous Star Wars properties better. And I'm specifically looking at the prequels on this one. Just take the latest show that's premiering right now, Ahsoka. It does a phenomenal job of blending modern-day Star Wars and the prequel Star Wars beautifully, creating a deeper and more resonating character in Anakin Skywalker than we ever got in the entirety of the prequel trilogy. For all of those who have watched Ahsoka and have seen that one episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Finally, Rick, we have to talk about probably the very best Star Wars content in all of Star Wars, maybe minus Episode 5, and it's not The Mandalorian, which was great through its first 2 seasons at least. But Rick, we're talking about Andor.
Then it was about product.
Andor is a culmination of what Star Wars has always meant to be. Rebels rising up from the ashes of oppression beyond all odd because of a spark of hope. This show is riddled throughout with that theme, and the character arc of Cassian Andor is one of the most complex and deeply satisfying arcs of all of Star Wars. Beyond Cassian, though, the show is filled to the brim with powerful story beats, memorable character performances, and heart-pounding drama. Not to mention the visuals of that show far exceed some of the other visuals in any other Star Wars content or property. If I can only suggest to you one Star Wars IP outside of the original trilogy, Rick, it would be Andor. And that's why Disney has not ruined Star Wars.
So for me, I've never seen it. I'll probably eventually watch it. I feel like I just Googled Andor and reasons to watch Andor. And I have about 3 different articles is because it's something that Disney is finally not doing Disney. they're maybe they're not actually doing, like, they realize, like, hey, we've been shoveling a lot of crap in their mouths. Maybe it's time to, make something.
They let real
they're gonna get to
filmmakers
season
take
2
care.
or 3. Will they get to season 2 or 3? Does Andor end? I don't really know.
Andor is only going to have a season 2, so it's it's going to be a 2-season show.
Okay, so they got one more season to shove their product in our faces. I have no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. I will make a prediction that season 2 is going to not be a piece of crap. It's going to be a 70%.
Rick,
it's going to be okay.
I don't know. If they are able to pull off what they did in season 1, it's going to be maybe the most complete and satisfying.
Has Disney
IP
ever shown
in
they
Star
could
Wars.
do that? They can pull off something like that? I just feel like they always...
If they give it to genuine filmmakers, sure. But Rick, I got to go back because I was biting my lip during your argument. You were talking about part of your argument proves my point that Disney hasn't killed Star Wars. You're talking about how their content is all about making money, and something that is making money is not ruined. It's a very
Transformers is
popular
one of
thing.
the greatest franchises of all time. Fast and Furious, Park. You're telling me that Fast and Furious is one of the greatest movie
Rick,
franchises of all time?
That's not what we're arguing. Is if it's one of the greatest franchises of all time. We're talking about whether it was ruined or not. And
if something's ruined, it can still make money, Park. Fast and Furious is one of those, is the finest example.
I beg to differ on that one. Have
you ever watched a Fast and Furious movie?
Rick, I've watched one and I was disgusted beyond belief because it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, and it's still gonna make money.
Yeah, but even those movies are making less and less money.
Yeah, but less and less money is... Andor probably is making less money than the crapshoot of the trilogy. Also, you just said that you just gave all the best examples of Disney Star Wars, and I find this very ironic for Parker's personally held beliefs. Parker's a believer in the movie theater. He doesn't love streaming services. So I find it hilarious, Park, that we're really pro something that is it just kicks the little movie theater's butts, Park. It kicks Regal's butt.
Rick,
the more success that these evil streaming services has is going to kill your industry. It's going to kill indie movies. It's going to kill everything.
That's a possibility, but also, Rick, the fact that high quality Star Wars content is being presented is just going to propel more people to the theater when the next wave of movies eventually are released. So as long as they can...
I don't buy that, because do you know what the next wave of movies is, Park?
Well, there's going to be another Rey movie, and there's going to be...
Who needs another Rey movie?
I don't know I need that. But
who wants a Mandalorian
But there's
movie?
going to be a Old Republic or High Republic movie trilogy in the works as well, Rick. So... it's not just Rey. It's not just Rey, Rick.
And again, like, I think something can still be dead, and they'll like push out a movie every once in a while or a show, and it'll be like great. Like, I think that's fine. I think what we've seen with franchises, not just Star Wars, we can even say Transformers, is like and even just movie making, when you're thinking of something that's dead, there's always companies and there's always money that they're going to try to squeeze more money out of it.
Okay, but Rick, also you have to look. Let's just go to The Mandalorian. Think about the cultural significance of that show over the past few years, specifically in season 1 and 2. If Disney had ruined Star Wars and Star Wars was dead at the hands of Disney, there wouldn't have been such a buzz and cultural impact that The Mandalorian had. Everyone was talking about Baby Yoda and buying Baby Yoda merchandise and dressing up as
merchandise.
Okay, but that still proves my point that Star Wars is thriving and doing well under the Disney banner.
I still think that Star Wars is worse and they're killing it. But then again, like, I don't even know what we define as a dead franchise. Like, I don't know what that means.
Well, Rick, you're arguing it, so you need to define it, I guess.
Well, you're also arguing against it.
I am arguing against it, and my argument, my definition of not dead is what Star Wars is right now.
I know, but like, we can say anything is dead or not dead, and just because it makes money, does that mean that it's alive?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe
I feel
not.
like there's a flaw in our debate right now. Because what is something that's dead?
Well, Rick, our debate isn't whether it's dead or not. It's whether they ruined it. That's true. That's the technical terminology that we are using. We've kind of been interchanging those words, but ruined.
Okay. Well, something that's ruined can still make money.
Yeah, but something that's ruined isn't going to have such deeply social and cultural impacts as something like The Mandalorian had.
See, but I feel like a lot of people haven't watched, like, The Mandalorian. Like, that's one of the two IPs I say is a win. I guess I also have Andor as that, but, like, again, a lot of people that aren't already Star Wars fanatics haven't watched it yet because in their eyes, like, oh, like, this is just going to be the same old crap.
I don't know. There was a lot of buzz about Obi-Wan when that series came out as well, because there's a huge prequel fan base now. All those children who watch the prequels have grown up and become young adults. Some of them even have their own children, and they were all tuning in to watch Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader again. Rick,
isn't that the only thing from the whole Obi-Wan show that has any redeeming qualities?
Yeah, it's not the best show. I'm not gonna lie. There are some good moments in it, but it's a show filled with good moments and not great storytelling.
Because, like, I guess, like, to me, if something's not ruined, I shouldn't have to be like, I'm not a fanboy, generally speaking, of, like, franchises of directors. I am a Jordan Peele fanboy. That's probably the only thing I'm a fanboy of. Anything that Jordan Peele touches, I guess I'll watch, whether it's bad or not, and I'll defend him till the end.
Oh, he hasn't really put out anything bad yet, so there's that.
Yeah, that's also true. But it'll come. It comes for all directors, maybe. But so I think that I like the fact that I need to be, like, convinced, and, like, I'm a normie when it comes to Star Wars, and there's a lot of normies. There's millions of them. Like, I shouldn't have to be like I need to be convinced to give it another shot. That's why, to me, that it's ruined. Like, when they came out with the trilogy, the crapshoot trilogy, the what is it, 7, 8, 9? I don't even give a crap. I didn't have to be convinced to watch it because it was new and it was exciting. But every one was just worse and worse and worse. Andor, I need to be convinced to watch, and maybe I'll be convinced to watch and I'll like it. But it doesn't mean that I need to be convinced to watch it by someone.
Well, Rick, I would highly suggest that you watch all of that, because there's some great Star Wars IP and property out there that you have not seen yet, and that's just in the live action realm. Everything in the animated realm has really been top tier as well. So
I heard Bad Batch wasn't great.
Well, that's for another debate, I suppose. Well, I think that's just about going to do it for us, don't you think, Rick?
I think that does it. And apologies that my knowledge is not there. I'm anti-Disney entertainment as it gets, I guess, these days.
That's fair. And as someone who's worked on Disney properties, I can also stand behind that sentiment to an extent. But for all of our listeners out there, now it's up to you. Again, you decide who won the debate. So make sure to like and comment who you felt like won today's debate, so that we know it's the only way we get a winner is through your decisions. And it's the only way that I know that I am a better debater than Rick. So please
convince me why I should watch Andor. I'm generally, because maybe I want to get
Rick, I'm doing my outro right now. I can't do that. Anyways,
I'm telling the audience.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to stop my outro. All right. Well, audience, vote me as the winner and then tell Rick why he needs to watch Andor, because it's fantastic Star Wars. Anyways, we're counting on you. Comment, like, share, do all the fun stuff. Until next episode and until next debate, guys, we'll see you then.